So for once in my life, I actually prepared comments, and if you know me from my undergrad days, Tony, this is going to be a wow factor.
Fix your glasses.
They're actually broken,
Oh.
like most of the things in my life. And I'll actually start this with a joke. So you guys can write this down. Little known fact, the word entrepreneurship comes from the Latin root of a selfish, goal-oriented freight train. I'm actually joking, that's really not the true meaning. In reality, we entrepreneurs are builders. Builders of ideas, products, and companies. And we're drawn to the parallel of a self-involved egomaniac, aka a human freight train. And this wouldn't be a TED-esque talk unless I actually gave some statistics. 91% of entrepreneurs, according to the Marion Ewing Foundation, I actually sourced this, be impressed, believe that businesses, right? Entrepreneur, extent, yeah, right? Believe that their business is going to be profitable within the first 12 months. But according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, or the government, 20% of those businesses aren't going to make it past year 2. So we know that, why should we even build? We know the risk of failure is going to be there. Now at this point, you probably should be saying, what is that giant man telling me? I know, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an Engler, I know the risk, right? That's great. But I really want to ask you a question. Are you ready to build? Because when you walk out of here tonight, I want you to ask one question and take one thing away from my speech. Life is more than a business. Because from today on, you are a part of people in this room. You're part of a community that does not serve itself, but serves one another to be the best individually. As an Engler entrepreneur, the ability to build is fundamental to the culture of you and your fellow Engler associates. These kind people are driven and intelligent, and they come from all walks of life. Paths that you're probably too scared to take, you don't want to take, or are just even too tired to take. But you know what? You guys, especially you freshmen, you have personality. You have an understanding of the world unmatched to anybody right now, and especially being an Engler. And you actually have maturity that I did not possess at your age whatsoever. But don't let yourself not immerse yourself into this program. And you have the ability to build others as well as becoming a better and more well-rounded person. Because this is more than just a business program. I myself went through a period of building. As a senior in high school and on top of the world, my dad was diagnosed with Parkinson's and onset of dementia. The dude that built multiple successful businesses, could do long division in his head, was also skinnier than me, hard to believe, and had a sweet tooth bigger than Willy Wonka. And his farm, my family farm, was the center of my family's universe. And it was the thing that I built myself and my entire personality around. It was fundamental and the foundation of me. But building wasn't about just expanding our hog business or getting more acres or getting more assets. It ended up becoming a race to build information, advice, and a legacy that ended up being taken all too quickly. The diagnosis wasn't noticeable for the first couple years. Parkinson's had slowed down my dad in some physical aspects, but he was still building. Me and my brother, even though we didn't really know it. Privately, my dad would say to my mom, Lori, I've got to get the boys to where they need to be, but they're just not there yet. That was his reason. Throughout my time at UNL, the prognosis became worse. Every couple of months, my dad lost more and more physical and mental abilities. But my dad maintained an outlook of a builder. Keep pushing, keep positive, and keep going. He pressed me to build something of myself outside of our family farm, outside of Butler County, and he and my family gave me the ability to attend UNL and build that of my own and find a place to build with no limits and to test out my crazy ideas. And I found that place in Engler. Engler was a place I could build, I could fail, and I could start all over without leaving my visions of grandeur or losing myself or my continuing drive. Though at times I pushed myself to the edge. And when I say to the edge, I was to the edge. Regrets started piling up at home, my overeager class schedule, and many outside activities and a part-time job I literally was in over my head. I ended up failing a class. And I missed an interview for the Engler Alum Exec Council. Dave, you were the only F that I got in college. Thank you for that, actually. Because that F and that missed opportunity of that interview made me actually realize something and stop. Do not take the group around you for granted. This program is different because these people, they actually care. This isn't just another business program. So the next day, I got a message from a person that had an innate sense that I was struggling and needed built back up. And I actually found this message, and I actually wrote it down, and I'm going to read it verbatim. Lucas, if you read any doubt in my correspondence, then you misinterpreted. I have tremendous faith in you, and because I'm an old school, notoriously grouchy SOB, I plan to treat you like kin and hold you to your potential, and you can count on that. Tom. That one email took me from a time of self-indulgent pity and overextending myself and made me into a person that started to make a difference in myself so I could help build others. Don't be afraid to call an outside contractor every once in a while. Am I right, Dylan? Unless you can do it yourself, which Dylan can. I stopped, reconsidered, and reprioritized. I ended up getting a way better grade. Thanks for letting me retake the class. And I was able to lessen the load around me. I started to understand the complexity of not building tasks around me to maintain a level of busyness to not pay attention to what was going on. I started to focus on things that actually mattered in my life. I pushed myself to enjoy the times that were left to learn from those that built me from day one. My dad and this program are the reasons that I continue to farm and I started my own business. And I own my own patents and I do cool things. Last year in March, my dad went out on top. With all of our family on his farm, right before planting, might I add. He didn't have to load any seed bags, thanks for that. Though it was tough to see him go, he built in me, my brother, my mother, my sister, something that will never be taken down. So strong that we can pass it to the next generation, and I can pass it to people like you. A couple of weeks ago, my mom mentioned to me that 3 months before my dad passed away, they were talking pretty in depth about, life and stuff like that, like most parents do. They actually have conversations outside of kids. And he said, the boys are ready, they're there. Unprompted, not asked, but there. We all have the desire to build a business, a product, a structure, but don't forget to take time and the people inside of this room, good friends, to build a friendship, a good habit, or especially build yourself. If you don't take time to build these things, when you do finally make it to the top, and believe me, you will, after getting pushed down the hill multiple times, you will make it to the top. But that money isn't going to be worth it because you won't have anything to share it with, and you won't have any accomplishment to go with it. Guys, now that you're anglers, I want to leave you with one thing. Life is more than building a business. Thanks, guys.